Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 2027 NFL Playoffs. We're in the divisional round now, taking on the Detroit Lions as they ended as the second seed of the regular season, going 14-3. We did have a previous scuffle with them going back to Week 4 on Monday Night Football, but fell in that one 13-8. But our offense, hibernation mode in that game, has definitely awoken here, especially in the second half of the season. Lucas McDonald, our franchise quarterback, has found his footing. A very good performance last week as we defeated the Green Bay Packers in the wild card round, our first ever franchise victory in the postseason, as we have heated up here. Both of these teams enter on a 6-game winning streak, as you know, one of them is going to go home after this one. Dan Campbell, one of the best coaches at this point in all of the NFL. Jared Goff, only 32 years old at this point, feels like he's much older, but now 6 straight seasons of 4,000 passing yards as we're here in Detroit, and we're looking for the upset here. No one expected us to get here. We didn't even expect to get here ourselves after a 3-6 start, but here we are as we are now underway here from Detroit, Michigan, as we look to upset the Detroit Lions. Fell against them early on in the season, but this is a much different Snowhawks team than what they saw a few months ago at this point. Now, as Jared Goff set to lead the charge here, a dynamic offense for the Lions, one of the best offensive lines in all of football, and you see the numbers there: 4,253 passing yards, 33 touchdowns to 9 interceptions, as he has been one of the most steady quarterbacks of the past decade. Taylor Decker is back at left tackle in this one. He was not in the previous matchup, as Detroit going to start here at the 28-yard line. Goff there does have a man, but it's going to be dropped through the contact. Matthew Torrance there on Webster. Terrence Webster now in his second season, former first-round pick out of Vanderbilt, had over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns last week in Detroit's win over Seattle. The Lions took that one 42-34, the highest scoring game in the opening round of the playoffs, as Goff had some rush coming there from Bosa, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10. Would do wonders for the Snowhawks defense to force a 3-and-out. Here's the quick pressure. Quay Walker breaks through along with Joey Bosa. Walker there on the blitz, and he had a sack last week, I think, against Green Bay, his former team, as that's probably going to be a half sack each there, as that forces the 4th down, and our defense coming up huge on the first drive of this game. 4th and 20 from Detroit, backed up to their own 18-yard line, as the punter does get that one off. And we are going to have very good field position here to start, as Golston takes that to the 47, and out comes Lucas McDonald, probably the best quarterback, or one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL in the second half of the season. Really struggled in the first half, but still ended up going over 4,000 in the first time in his career, and was also in the top half of passers. But he also makes a huge impact on the ground game with his legs. Our leading rusher, and I think he had a couple scores on the ground last week, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe that was a couple weeks back. But tremendous starting field position here for Salt Lake City. At the 47, first drop back for McDonald, and he throws it right into the body, I think, of Jack Campbell. Not how he wanted to come out, but at least we have a do-over now on 2nd down. McDonald, plenty of time to throw, now going to try and run, as he does have some space, being pursued there by Jack Campbell as he meets him there at the line of scrimmage. So like Detroit, now Salt Lake City facing a 3rd and 10. And McDonald goes to his second read towards the sideline. It's going to be Carlos Alvarez, the rookie, as he tries to fight ahead into Detroit territory, but still short of the first down marker. That's Titus McGill, fellow rookie. Both of those guys out of the ACC. And now 4th and 1, we are going to punt. And not how we wanted to start taking. We wanted to take advantage of that good field position. And not the best punt from Ariza. He's had a few bad ones here in the past couple weeks, as Goff and the offense right back out there, only just over 2 minutes into this divisional round playoff game. The other matchup this round is the top seed Philadelphia Eagles, finishing at 16-1, and the NFC South champ New Orleans Saints. The Eagles a heavy favorite in that one, as are the Lions. And this one, as Goff had a man over the middle of the field working towards the near sideline, just missed him. That might have been Terrence Webster. And of course, Amon-Ra St. Brown, the top receiver on this team, one of the top in the game at 99 overall. Over 200 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns for him in last week's win over Seattle, as that one knocked down at the line of scrimmage. I think Kwity Paye, the former Michigan Wolverine, playing against his in-state team there, going back to his college days. As another 3rd and 10 faced here by the Lions. Goff, time to throw, goes to his second read again towards the sideline. That will be caught, but short of the line to gain. Jerry Sexton there in on the coverage. He actually picked off Jared Goff in that first matchup. So again, the Lions are going to punt, a rookie kicker and a rookie punter for the Lions. And that one will go all the way down to the 21-yard line. Return again by Golston, as he'll work that up to the 29. Now out there empty with Bigsby to the top of the screen out wide. To start this drive, McDonald for Mark Andrews over the middle of the field as he stretches that one up for 9. Andrews had a short 3-yard touchdown last week, but also had a big reception on a 3rd down early in the game to move the chains as over the middle of the field for Carlos Alvarez in the hands. But a good hit going downhill was Kirby Joseph, I believe, as he makes up one of the best safety tandems in the NFC with Brian Branch. And now 3rd and 1 again out there empty. Thought we might just go for a run as we go there for Dontavion Wicks, and he hangs on and falls ahead for the first, moving the chains. Now 1st down at the 42. 4-man rush for Detroit. McDonald up the sideline has a man that's just out of the reach of Dontavion Wicks, trying to drop it in the bucket, but he dropped it out of bounds instead and overthrew Dontavion Wicks by about a half a step. Not bad there on the accuracy compared to what we've seen at times from McDonald. And again, second read and just miscommunication there. I think Wicks again, the intended receiver, and that's Bone, 5th-round rookie, ended up with star development. He was on our draft board. And now a 3rd and 10. Let's get another conversion here. As a quick rush, we try to set the screen, and we had no time. And Lee McNeil just bursted through the line as he knocks McDonald down, and each side trades a punt on each of their first drives. As we will just play this one out there, we're going to sim a drive for each side, maybe 2, depending on how it goes. We'll follow a similar format to last episode in the wild card round. We'll watch a bunch, sim a little, watch a bunch, and see where we are at that point as Terrence Webster, the second-year man out of Vanderbilt, caused fits for us in our last matchup as a return man, a decent one that time. Now we will just take to the normal sim and see how the Lions fare as a 1st down incompletion, then 7 yards for Sam Laporta, now on 3rd and 3, and that's knocked away by Max Melton. Also had an interception last week in his first career playoff game. And now our Snowhawks take over at the 8, our worst starting field position, although a penalty there against McNeil to start. And we get 6 yards for Alvarez, now 1st and 10. And we had a big gain there through the air, missed it. And now 2nd and 4, make it 1st down after a 4-yard rush from Bigsby. Another catch there for Wicks, that time for 6. 2 yards by McDonald, now a 3rd and 3. And it wants us to play the moment, but we'll just skip it for now. Just follow suit with that. 9 yards for Marvin Harrison. He had a, 72-yard touchdown catch last week, just taking the top off of that Green Bay secondary, despite all the talent. And then 14 yards for Carlos Alvarez, now to the 12-yard line. And again, we'll just skip the moment. 4 yards for Vince Willis. He's kind of emerged since being signed mid-season. Marvin Harrison Jr., another touchdown catch. 1 in each week to start his playoff career. And the Snowhawks take the lead with 1:57 left in the first quarter. And we will just sim ahead another drive for each side. And then we'll play out the rest of this first half. So Gibbs kind of getting going here, 3rd and 4. And again, a pass knocked away. That's Dale Gilmore, our rookie out of Tennessee, 1st-round pick, along with Carlos Alvarez. We had a couple, and we have a couple in this year's draft as well. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 after 5 yards for Bigsby, and then incomplete from Lucas McDonald. So now we will resume. I don't know if we're actually going to take it all the way to the end of the half. We might watch one drive and then sim one drive, as we still have 14 minutes to go. So the Lions now trailing 7-0, 14:02 left in the second quarter, taking over at the 45. Good field position there for Sam Laporta, as the tandem of Thompson and Torrance able to bring him down. Not a bad approach to bring 2 defenders on a guy like Sam Laporta. Now 2nd and 6, the fake to Gibbs. And now again for Laporta up the sideline, he gets 3. And now another 3rd and 3 for Detroit, as Goff takes the snap in the pocket. Sets up the screen for Jahmyr Gibbs, being chased by Torrance. He does get the 1st down, turns the corner, and gets a few up the sideline. That's 10 overall on that one. Now with the fullback out there at the Snowhawks 38. There goes Laporta towards the top of the screen. They fake it to Gibbs. Goff time to throw in the pocket. Going for Laporta and just out of the reach. He had a step or 2 there on Jalen Thompson. Now 2nd down. Goff. And that's at the feet, I believe, of Jameson Williams. He had a long touchdown catch against us in that first meeting, the only touchdown for either side. Again, 13-8 in that game. We had a safety. It was 10-5 at halftime. And now another 3rd down for Detroit, going underneath, and that is dropped by the backup tight end, as that'll bring out a 55-yard field goal attempt for the rookie kicker. Only missed 3. Actually, they're going to go for the punt. I stand corrected, so no faith in the rookie kicker, as he did miss last week from 29 yards, although only missed 3 all of the regular season, as that punt goes for a touchback. So Detroit not really faring well on offense, which is similar to what we experienced in the first matchup. Our offense just couldn't match at all. There was absolutely no run support for our defense, who played very well. But if we can stay at this pace, score maybe 21 points or so, we might be in good shape. And now starting here at the 20, as Bigsby will get ahead for 3. Someone bursted through the line there, but just over pursued a little bit. Didn't have the leverage to make the play on Bigsby. As Hutchinson there standing up at the bottom of the line. 15 sacks in the regular season. He has been a force over the course of this franchise. 2 out of the 4 seasons he's gone over 20 sacks. And now we do have a man there, Dontavion Wicks again. I want to say his 4th catch, that one for 10. McDonald now over 100 passing yards in just the first 15 minutes of play or so. Only had 127 total in the first matchup. Now here at the 33. Has a man there towards the sideline, and that's going to be caught by Darnell Washington. Have not seen him too much, but in his role as our tight end 2 behind Mark Andrews, he has thrived, I would say, and certainly has used that big body as a mismatch. And now McDonald here on first down. Has a man open again. That's Carlos Alvarez, and that will go ahead for 11. Already 5 catches for the rookie Alvarez. Really came on strong there in the second half, as did pretty much everyone on our team, especially on the offense. And now McDonald crosses his body towards the sideline, going for Tank Bigsby, and Jack Campbell knocks that one down. Second down at Detroit's 43. Probably need at least 10 more yards to get in comfortable field goal range, as Andrews able to make that catch, breaks the tackle, and gets 6. Now at their empty on 3rd and 4 from the 37. 4-man rush for the Lions. McDonald trying to step up and run, and he cannot break free, as that's Childress bringing him down, forcing Salt Lake City deeper, and that's definitely not in field goal range. So again, we have to punt from the Lions zone, as Matt Araiza back out there. Hopefully can get a better one here. Knock him inside the 10. As that one is up. Looks pretty bad. And that is bad. Only 22 yards on the net. Doesn't even get the touchback. And Detroit going to take over now. With 8:12 now remaining, I guess we will just play out the rest of the half. It is the divisional round of the postseason, so we'll see how this plays out. Amon-Ra St. Brown in motion. I don't think he's had a catch yet. And now Goff backtracking and just going to get rid of that one. Only 40 total yards of offense for Detroit. Not what we expected in this one. And Goff again from the shotgun. 4-man rush, and he has a man that sails past the arms of Jahmyr Gibbs into the arms of Nathan Scruggs, our second-year corner out of Ole Miss. And as I've been saying about a bunch of our guys, really came on strong in the second half of the season. Ended up with 5 interceptions, the most we've had by a player over the course of this franchise in a single season. And Jared Goff, just the mechanics on that one too. His footwork was not facing his target. That's never a good sign, kind of going across his body uncomfortably. And that just sailed past Jahmyr Gibbs as a golden opportunity now for Lucas McDonald and the offense. Taking over at the 26. It doesn't get much better than this. Already up by 7. 8:02 left in the first half. McDonald over the middle, as that is caught by Wicks again, only for 5. Now on 2nd and 5, McDonald. Not a lot of runs for Bigsby in this one, despite heating up down the stretch. And luckily we live to see another down. That's Ennis Rakestraw Jr. had a pick on McDonald in the first meeting, and almost had another one here. And now 3rd and 5. McDonald has our Andrews wide open there at the 10-yard line. That one for 12. Brings up a 1st and goal. Again from the shotgun here as Andrews goes in motion. Back the other way. And now McDonald has a man open there. That's Carlos Alvarez for 6. And McDonald now up to 155 passing yards to score. And we're now up to the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Bigsby still the back. Thought we might see some Derrick Henry here, but not the case. Just over 6 minutes remaining. Andrews wide open. Andrews is wide open. Oh, man. Andrews was open, streaking there towards the end zone. I'm surprised McDonald, as he started moving, didn't just try and fling it for him, as he's brought down for a loss. Again, that's Childress, his 2nd of the game. Now 3rd and goal, empty set. Bigsby to the top of the screen. And now McDonald from the pocket. Going to dump that off for Dontavion Wicks, but short of where he needed to go. And I'm pretty sure we're going to bring out the field goal unit here from the 4-yard line. Just make this a 2-possession game as this first half winds down. Our defense has dominated. We just need the points at this point. And now A 21-yarder chip shot here for Todd Hayes, the rookie out of Oregon, as that one is up, and that one is good. So our Snowhawks do get points off that interception. Would have liked to get a little bit more, but we're not going to be greedy against the second seed Detroit Lions in this one. Now trailing 10 coming off an interception, 4:50 left in the half. Plenty of time to make something happen, get some points on the board, and get some momentum going into halftime. A very experienced, seasoned Lions team. They've been to the postseason many, many times at this point, and they have won some, but still trying to win that big game. And now here for Jahmyr Gibbs. As a holding call, I'm pretty sure, and Gibbs up the sideline. Works to pass midfield there. Would have been 25 yards. But a hold will negate it. Absolutely brutal for Detroit. You finally get something going, and then you lose. Now 1st and 16. As they fake it to Gibbs with the fullback out there, Goff. And that's just out of the reach for Sam Laporta again. We see an overthrow from Goff. Just needs to tighten it up a little bit, which now brings up 2nd and 16. There goes Jameson Williams in motion to the bottom. Now Goff over the middle of the field has a man open. Again, that's Sam Laporta. He's been super reliable for him in this one despite the overthrows. Now less than 4 minutes here in the half. Detroit trying to rally. Now up to the 41. Again, the fullback out there as an extra blocker. As he picked up pay, but nothing doing as good coverage downfield, we'll assume. Goff had to get rid of it. Now he drops back here on 2nd down. Second read towards the near sideline, as that only picks up 4. Matthew Torrance broke downhill very quickly on that one. And now 3rd and short here for Detroit at the 45. 4-man rush for Salt Lake City over the middle of the field. Goff, and that's incomplete. Intended target, I'm not sure, I couldn't see the name there, but Nathan Scruggs in coverage already has that interception, and now causing fits for Goff again, as no one should be ever wearing 81 on Detroit, as that should have been retired. The second Calvin Johnson retired. Another bad punt here from the AI. That one was only 19 yards if my calculations are correct. So the punters have struggled in the slow simulations, and now Salt Lake City another chance here to extend the lead. 3:08 at the 36, all their timeouts. Fake it for Bigsby to start, flinging it downfield as McDonald, and that's out of the reach. I think maybe Wicks was stretching out for it. That might be offensive pass interference, to be honest, as it will not be. It's defensive pass interference on Terrion Arnold, and we just benefit greatly off that call, already tripling the total yardage of Detroit as we try to go for Bigsby, and he's swallowed up behind the line. Hutchinson, the last man there, and that's a 1-yard loss. 2nd and 11, can't get over that pass interference penalty. That was just like heaved up into double coverage as McDonald now gonna tuck it and run. Trying to make a man miss there. That was Campbell at the line to gain. Does not quite get it. Brings up a 3rd and inches, as that will take us into the 2-minute warning. A great start for our Snowhawks. No points allowed. A turnover forced. I think only 63 yards given up so far. With a 10-0 lead, 2 minutes remaining. 3rd and inches at the Detroit 26-yard line. And now McDonald on the drop back. They do send a blitzer, as I think Hutchinson just had a clean rush. As that will bring up a 4th down. A 49-yard field goal attempt now for Todd Hayes. He has not been the best from deep, so I certainly do not have full faith in this effort, but we're going to ride with him to add on another 3. 1:57 now in the half. Detroit burned their first time out. As now Todd Hayes here from 49. The kick is up, and it is good. Now 2 for 2 is the rookie from Oregon, and that makes our lead now 13 points. Detroit still time to make something happen. And now 1:50 for Jared Goff and this experienced Detroit offense. I think all but like 2 starters, or maybe 3 starters if you count the slot receiver, are from their initial team when we started this franchise. As a quick hit there for Jameson Williams, that one for 16. And they're going to start operating out of the no-huddle offense. A fake there. Is that Laporta in the backfield? Haven't seen that, as Goff heaves it downfield. And that will be knocked down by Nathan Scruggs. Matthew Torrance also had a play on it. Or maybe that was Jalen Thompson, as Goff heaved that up for Jahmyr Gibbs. And Sam Laporta on the fake that time. That is something new. 2nd and 10. Goff rolling to his left. And going to be hit by Draymond Jones. And that is not a fumble. Did have the arm going forward, as Draymond Jones has made an impact. He's been out there a lot. I'm not sure what happened to Darius Robinson at D tackle, but it's mainly been Draymond Jones. And now Goff, again, the mechanics there, a little stiff with his footwork and his hips, as that is going to be short. So a fourth down, I don't know why we don't call a timeout here. With the time ticking down, we still have time to make something happen, but we're going to just be happy with our 13-point lead and take that into the half, although we did go conservative last week, just trying to run the clock down, and Tank Bigsby broke out for 81 yards. So hopefully we could see something like that again. It would be 71. Imagine he was able to replicate that from last week, put us up 20 going into half, but sadly he is not on the field right now. Vince Willis in the backfield. 30 seconds for Salt Lake City. McDonald, time to throw. And again, going to just make the decision to run. Just have the first down and then some past midfield, as that will pick up 23 with 22 seconds left, and just like that, into Detroit territory. We do burn our first timeout. McDonald just going to check that one down for Wicks and call another timeout. Wicks has to have like 7 or 8 catches already in this game. We're not even at halftime. And now up to the 38, 1 timeout remaining. Darnell Washington there, the motion man. And McDonald will send it to him over the middle as Washington gets ahead for 4. And this would be a 51-yard field goal, so we got to call a timeout here as we do get it off. The AI can be so tricky managing the clock here in late situations, but now we are going to have a chance at, I think, a 49-yard Todd Hayes field goal. I'm sorry, a 51. He hit from 49 before, and now here to end the half from 51. Can he do it again? Todd Hayes, the kick is up. And the kick is no good. I thought it was good. I think it was wide left. We will get another look at it, as that one does sail wide left. And just by a few inches, a few feet maybe. This goes from being a 13-point lead, or from a 16-point lead, and stays at 13 with 3 seconds now left. One more chance for Goff to just heave it deep for Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, as he will be brought down from behind instead by Joey Bosa, as we end the first half with an exclamation point. 13-0 here to end the first half of play against the Detroit Lions. Did not see this coming. We've already eclipsed our point total from that first matchup. We only scored 8 there. We already have 13. Lucas McDonald has been phenomenal. Passing, running, whatever you want, he's going to do it. And now 0 points for the Lions. Did not see that coming. One of the best offensive lines in all of football. Jared Goff, a veteran quarterback who has been here many, many times, as we see there the divisional round. As if the Saints can beat the Eagles and we hang on here to beat the Lions, that would make it a Saints Snowhawks NFC Championship game, which would be the bottom 2 teams from the conference last season, which I don't know if that's ever happened in the modern NFL era. Something someone on the research department will have to get them on it, but tremendous game here. I do believe we get ball to start at half, so if we can just continue to control the clock, I think we'll control this game, especially if our defense can keep doing what they're doing. But I mean, I think the Lions right now are a sleeping giant, and it's going to take one big hit, I think, to awaken them. Even last matchup, Amon-Ra St. Brown was blanked in the first half, but then just erupted in the second half and was really part of them hanging on in that game. So now to start the second half, Snowhawks do get the ball up 13-0. Here is Trey Palmer on the return, and so worked it up to the 26-yard line as McDonald and the offense back out there. Let's keep it going. He's been just moving the ball at will in this one. 220 yards to 78. And now here under center, 2 tight ends on the field, Bigsby the back, and we will give it to him. And he's going to be brought down. A sandwich there of Detroit Lions defenders. There's Truman. I'm not sure who was 44 there coming off the edge, but another loss on the ground for Bigsby. And he was a huge part of our winning streak there in the past couple weeks that propelled our efforts in reaching the postseason. Being silenced in this one now on 2nd and 11, again over the middle for Darnell Washington as he works head for 6. 3rd and 4. Let's not get the 3 and out to start. Looks like Detroit's going to be setting pressure. McDonald, one does drop back though. And McDonald trying to get away from Aiden Hutchinson. He does the spinorama up the field. And overall going to be 14 on the ground. Aiden Hutchinson was right there, but just could not get the reach on him. And McDonald very explosive there in close quarters with the nimbleness, the swiftness, as he works towards midfield. And now directly under center is Lucas McDonald, as he will give back for Bigsby. A better result this time, does get 2. Now 2nd and 8, Washington. Again, the man in motion. A lot of 2 tight end looks here. And McDonald will give it back to him again. His 3rd catch of the game, breaks a tackle and surges forward for the first down. That's what I'm talking about when we talk about him using his big frame, his big body. It's just run it. You know, people aren't going to be able to bring you down at first. So just keep that body trucking and good things will happen. Now first down again for Darnell Washington. His coming out party in this one. The short yard, 4-yard gain, but we'll take it. Especially if we can give him those moments where he's out in space and can work ahead a little bit, build up some steam. Now 2nd and 6 at the 40. There's Andrews, our other tight end, in motion. McDonald backtracking, and Aiden Hutchinson gets off the block there, beating Ikem Ekonwu. And we backtrack all the way to the 49-yard line. It was only a matter of time before Hutchinson broke free, as he did have 15 sacks in the regular season, was towards the top, but I don't think he finished number 1. Although in our matchup earlier in the year, he was the top sack leader, but kind of diminished his total as we went along. But still, 15 sacks is remarkable. Although even Andrew Van Ginkel on our team did have 15 sacks as well in a crazy contract season for him. Now 3rd and 14. McDonald going to fling it down the field. Plenty of time to throw. And that's almost for Carlos Alvarez. Knocked down by Rakestraw Jr. I thought that was going to drop in the bucket for Alvarez. Had to step on Rakestraw, but the throw just could not make it to him. And McDonald has shown some good accuracy even on the misses, as he's improved greatly. And now from the 49, another, I was going to say bad one from Araza, but I mean, what, 32-yard net? I guess we'll take that compared to the last one. And now 10-24 in the third, 13-0 Snowhawks. We'll watch this drive and then sim a little bit. And now that is going to be knocked out by Jerry Sexton. The intended receiver was Terrence Webster, but couldn't hang on. Not only has the accuracy been off for Goff, but even the decision-making seems to have been a little questionable. As Jameson Williams in motion, followed by Nathan Scruggs. Goff does hit him as he went back inside. 3rd and 5 coming up. 3rd and 5 from the 24. You want to move the chains here. Goff does have a man open, and again, just misses him blatantly. And for the veteran quarterback, you have to make that throw. It's Jameson Williams. I don't think he's had a catch yet, as we've been able to silence him and Amon-Ra St. Brown. And now another punt here for Detroit. Just not what I saw coming in this game. Golston on the return, as that will be brought up to the 39. So we are going to start simming here. McDonald back to hopefully get us some more insurance points. As we'll now take it to their normal sim, go to key moments, and we'll see what they bring us up to as we start. 4 yards for Marvin Harrison Jr. And then 4 yards for Bigsby on the ground. Now 3rd and short, and we do not get the first down. 4th and inches. And there was a penalty on Detroit. So we still have the ball. And then a 15-yard penalty against Hutchinson, roughing the passer. And wow, we were facing a 4th down, I think. But a penalty, maybe roughing the kicker, running into the punter, something like that, has kept us alive. 3rd and 7, incomplete. So a 45-yard field goal for Todd Hayes as he sinks it. So now a 16-point lead as he's 3 for 4. A lot of those have been from deep. And now Detroit still nothing doing on the scoreboard. Let's see if they can make something happen. A penalty there from Quincy, the 3rd-year guard out of LSU, former first-round pick. And that's now going to be 3rd and 5 at the 35. And they get the first down there to St. Brown as he wakes up. Then 10 yards for Webster, now 2nd and inches. And Jahmyr Gibbs goes back, now a 3rd and short. And they do not get it. 4th and 1, you got to think they go for it as they punt it. So, wow, a touchback. And we'll just go again with the sim here on another drive for each side, and then probably finish out the 4th quarter. 15 yards for Alvarez. Incomplete. So now 2nd down at the 46-yard line. Now make it 3rd down after another incompletion. 6 yards for Wicks, not going to do it, as we will start the 4th quarter with a punt. So we will simulate the rest of this Lions drive, and then probably take it over from there. 8 yards for Gibbs, 2nd and 2. They get 7 for Laporta. And now at the 35, 11 for St. Brown. Again, like I said, he just tends to have a lot bigger impact in the second half, but Joey Bosa gets home again for another sack. And then on 3rd and 17, nothing doing there for Jahmyr Gibbs, as that brings up a 4th and very long. And I did not mean to sim that first play of this. Actually, we'll just sim ahead again for another drive on each side. We started with 4 yards there for Carlos Alvarez, I believe. Now 2nd and 13, nothing doing. 3rd and 11, and we get the first down for Carlos Alvarez. Unreal. First down, 8-yard scramble by McDonald. As we have chewed off a lot of this clock, I didn't think we were going to be able to go down the field so much, as Nick Herbig does get home for a sack. So now a 3rd and 7 at the 48 for Salt Lake City. And we move the chains for Mark Andrews. Oh my goodness, able to drain like all this 4th quarter. I did not see this coming, or else we would have watched it. And now 3rd and 6, we move the chains again, 20 yards for Wicks. First down in the red zone, 7 yards for Vince Willis. As we're heading towards the 2-minute warning, we are almost done with this game. Now 1st and goal at the 9, and Detroit is starting to burn some timeouts. How were we able to just burn the last 10 minutes of this game? 3rd and goal now. 4th and goal. And the kick is up from Todd Hayes to make it 19-0. As now 1:16 remaining, we'll sim the kickoff and then take it from there. And I apologize for the lack of a gameplay we're witnessing here in the second half. But like I said, I did not expect us to just go down the field, drain all the clock. And now Detroit with no timeouts remaining. 1:12 on the clock, down 3 possessions. And San Laporta maybe dropped there on purpose because you weren't going to get much. Maybe it would have been brought down inbounds. And our Snowhawks are 70 seconds away from advancing to the NFC Championship game. A fake for Gibbs. Goff in the pocket. Plenty of time to throw going down the field as that's knocked down by Dale Gilmore as he also throws, I think, Jameson Williams down to the ground as well. And our rookie free safety is pumped up. Had that blocked punt earlier in the season against Seattle, which kept us in contention. And now Goff off the fake. Again, going a little bit deeper. Has Laporta, but caught out of bounds. And now just a minute left. 60 seconds left. 4th down for Detroit. One last ditch effort here to keep this game alive. Going deep. And that's going to be knocked down by Nathan Scruggs. Had the interception earlier. And that is going to do it here from Detroit, as our Snowhawks come in on the road. Heavy underdogs. And we're taking down the Lions. Lucas McDonald, a flawless effort here. No turnovers from our offense. We moved the chains all game. We didn't have the most points, but we didn't need it, as we are coming out for the knee. 54 seconds left, so we are going to have to go out for another one. But the victory formation in the divisional round of the playoffs is not what I saw coming entering this episode, entering this season, or really at any point along the journey. It has been a long, tumultuous task getting here, especially considering we were 3-6 going back to week 9. And that final kneel down does cement our fate, as our Snowhawks are going to be playing in the NFC Championship game as soon as year 4 of this expansion franchise. I can't believe how quickly we were able to turn things around, not only in the sense of building this up over the last 4 years, but building it up over the last 4 months or even 4 weeks, you could say, as Dan Campbell, Jared Goff not advancing. They only get the 1 win against Seattle, and we upset them here in their home stadium. And Mark Inge is a big impact in this one. Darnell Washington, a big impact. Wicks, Marvin Harrison Jr. had a touchdown earlier that we didn't get to witness. Joey Bosa, a sack and a half, I believe they're going to credit him with. And just our defense, what an effort, a shutout. This might be the first shutout in franchise history, and what a more opportune time to make that happen. I have to look at the numbers, I have to look at the schedule. And just for future reference, I do have a Google Doc in each description if you want to look at that and see the progression we've made over each season, the signings we've made, and all that fun stuff. But looking at the box score, Lucas McDonald, what a turnaround from that first performance. Only 127 the first time out, goes for 282 here, completing 71% on 46 attempts, which is far more than he usually goes for. You know, it's usually in the 25 pass attempt range. But look at Goff, 16 for 40, 124 at just 40% in interception. He had 5 touchdown passes last week against Seattle and a 450 through the air. This time, only 124, kind of a performance that resembles that of Lucas McDonald from that first meeting on the ground. Tank Bigsby held in check, only 2.2 yards per carry, but McDonald was able to pick up the slack with 68. Jahmyr Gibbs, only 6 rush attempts for 18 yards on that heavy pass approach here from Detroit. And Alvarez, 10 catches for 97. Wicks, 9 for 77. And Darnell Washington, 5 for 35. Super efficient for him in this one. Defensively, 15 tackles for Jack Campbell. All these tackle leaders are going to be for Detroit because their defense saw a lot more plays than ours did. Tackles for loss, 3 for Herbig, Hutchinson, and Childress, as he also had 2 sacks. Joey Bosa actually had 2.5 sacks with those 3 TFLs. Interceptions, that one from Nathan Scruggs. And he also added 2 pass deflections, kicking Todd Hayes 4 for 5. Low-key the MVP in this one. Along with 49, he did miss there from 51, but otherwise perfect on the day. We needed him in a big way in this one, and he delivered. And now looking at the scoring summary, only 1 touchdown for the Snowhawks came in the first quarter there to Marvin Harrison Jr. And as he now has 2 touchdown catches in this postseason run, and then 4 straight field goals there from Todd Hayes. Also had that miss, but what an effort from our defense as we held Detroit to just 122 yards of total offense, 2 for 13 on 3rd down, and we won the turnover battle as well. And now here's an updated look at the NFL playoff tree here for the 2027 playoffs. And we'll start here in the NFC as the Philadelphia Eagles absolutely blew out the New Orleans Saints. It was kind of a wonder the Saints made it this far anyway. 583 total yards of offense for the Eagles as they won this one 48-10. Jalen Hurts over 300 passing with 3 touchdown passes. Desmond Ridder leads the Saints all the way to the divisional round. Those for over 300 in this game against Philly, but also a pair of interceptions. Saquon Barkley, my goodness, 2 scores, 163. So we're going to have our work cut out for us next week trying to contain him as Devontae Smith, 132 for 2 scores. We got Manuel Reveron here, a rookie tight end going for over 100 for the Saints. A.J. Brown, 5 for 76 and a touchdown. Dallas Goedert still around here for the Eagles. C.J. Gardner-Johnson still here on the Eagles as well. Defensively, Teron Johnson, Jalen Carter, who we're hoping to sign in free agency if he makes it that far. Jordan Davis also on this Eagles team. I think he's a pending free agent as well, along with Cooper DeJean. So a lot of guys from the Eagles set to hit the free agent market, and many of them we would like to have on our team. I think they are kind of in dire straits when it comes to their cap issue. So hopefully we become the beneficiary to that. And over in the AFC, we really needed the Bills to lose. We have their first round pick. So, we could have a scenario where we have the 31st and 32nd pick in the draft if we win and also the Bills win. But looking at their matchup against the top seeded Ravens, who we also beat earlier in the season, Buffalo took a 23-14 lead into the half and did not look back despite a late comeback effort from the Ravens. As Josh Allen outduels Lamar Jackson, both of them from the same draft class. Ray Davis had 2 scores against his former team here, now a Raven, but James Cook and co had the last laugh. Keon Coleman, 7 for 93, thriving in this franchise. I guess we don't need to look at the numbers too much for these teams. An interception from Barry Drayton, third-year man out of LSU, and Terrell Bernard. So it's going to be a Bills-Kansas City Chiefs AFC Championship as the Chiefs take down Houston 42-28. Mahomes did lead the league in passing in the regular season, had 328, 3 touchdowns and interception. Same there for C.J. Stroud. Pacheco went for over 100 and a touchdown. Rashee Rice, 9 for 179 and a touchdown. Tank Dell, 3 touchdown catches, but not enough for the win. 2 tackles for loss for Danielle Hunter, no sacks, interception for Christian Harris and Leo Chenal. So we're down to our last 4 teams, and we are one of them. I cannot believe the impediments this team has overcome, the amount of growth we have enjoyed over the course of this season, but a very tough task going up against the number 1 seed Philadelphia Eagles, the top seed, the 16-1 team from the regular season, as we will get a look at their roster here and preview what's to come, because this is by far our toughest matchup of the season. Some of their stars here at the top: Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen Carter, Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, along with DeJean set to hit free agency, hopefully. Landon Dickerson, Jordan Mailata, 2 linemen there, Dallas Goedert, a few defenders here. Josh Sweat still on the Eagles, along with Rodrigo Blankenship and Milton Williams. So a very stacked team. Of course, Jalen Hurts is the quarterback. Barkley is the running back. We just saw him go for over 150 against the Saints in the divisional round. Receivers are studs: Brown, Devontae Smith, we all know, and Calvin Presley, a third-year man out of Alabama, 6'4", 219. Decent season, over 700, 6 touchdowns as like the 3rd or 4th receiving option. Former first-round pick from 2025. So a lot of weapons for this Eagles team, in addition to Dallas Goedert and Andy Bowden, a second-year tight end at 80 overall, only 22, 6'6", 254. Normal development, a pretty solid player. Left tackle Jordan Mailata, 89 overall. Landon Dickerson, left guard, 91 overall. Cam Jurgens a little bit weaker at center, but still a good player. Mekhi Becton, 84 at right guard. Titus Howard, 78 at right tackle. So it gets a little bit weaker there on that right side. Then a stud defensive line with Jalen Carter, Milton Williams, although he is hurt. So Milton Williams, ACL sprained, so he would be able to play in the Super Bowl if the Eagles do defeat us next week. Jordan Davis, who we already saw. Deion Austin, a second-year man here out of Texas, 77 overall run stopper at 6'2", 330. Linebackers are Nolan Smith Jr., Zach Bond, and Josh Sweat. I'm pretty sure a 3-4 scheme, so also Jermaine Pratt, a very good veteran starter there at linebacker, along with Zach Bond, and a stud duo of corners here in Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and also the experienced Teron Johnson, who I believe they signed going back to the preseason. Kaylee Ringo, a decent depth piece with Rodrigo Blankenship, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson at the safety spots. Jake Elliott still the kicker, and Bryce Behringer the punter. So we have our work cut out for us next week going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. Again, 16-1 at 88 overall, 89 for offense, 87 for defense. But I think the Lions were even higher than they are. And look what we were able to do in that game. But this is where I'm going to leave you folks. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I cannot believe how this season has fared. After our 3-6 start, I thought we were all but done, ready for a top 5 pick, and now here we are, one of the last 4 teams sitting in the NFL as we are set to battle with the Philadelphia Eagles next week. The Battle of the Birds, as if we can pull out that upset, that could go down as one of the greatest upsets in NFL playoff history, as our Snowhawks would reach the Super Bowl as NFC champions in just year 4 of this franchise. But that might be wishful thinking, but I hope you tune back. Let me know what you thought of this episode. And as always, everybody, it's been real and be well. I'll see you next time.